Hello nerds, this is the music section that has been taken from the main channel at Generally Nerdy here on the YouTubes, or you can go find it on Rumble or wherever else. This is the music section. It was taken from a much larger video that I like to call The Weekend Nerddom. That's available on the main channel. While you're here, don't forget to stick around afterwards because there's a lot of exclusive content on this channel that only exists here. So go check out some of that once you're done here. Either way, let's talk about the music news, shall we? Music section. Let's get into the things in music today. We're talking about a new track from Atreyu. Mudvayne has announced a tour that is actually pretty interesting for more than just the fact that it's Mudvayne, and The Cure sticking it to Ticketmaster. So no follow-ups, no corrections. We do have new music to talk about. First up is Lil Pump, and the name of this song is Pump Rock X Heavy Metal. Oh, what the hell did I just listen to? So sometimes I like to do reactions to things that are a little bit out of my wheelhouse. Hip hop being one of those things that I just don't have as analytical an ear for as most other genres. And yeah, this is bad. This is very, very bad. I don't listen to Lil Pump regularly. I do listen to like nu metal, which is what people were trying to say this was. They were trying to equate this to the genre of nu metal, and it's not. It is just bad hip hop from my ear point. So unless you are a die-hard Lil Pump fan, definitely keep this one at a very large distance. And then the only other piece of new music that I felt was really worth talking about in the episode is Atreyu put out a new track. They also announced a new EP, which we will get to in just a moment, but the name of the track is Watch Me Burn. This is, again, coming from a new EP called The Hope of a Spark. It will be out on April 14th from Spine Farm Records. They also announced a tour with Point North, Within Destruction, and Lilac, I believe is how you say that. Starts May 6th, runs through May 21st. So the song, Watch Me Burn, I really love Atreyu. I really, really do. Up until this point, basically everything they've put out, even the stuff without Alex, has been top notch. The stuff without Alex, the last record, Baptized, not as great as I wanted it to be, but still pretty dang good. So far, what we've heard of this new EP, not staying in line with that. Just really subpar by comparison. One of the things I love about Atreyu is their aggression. This song, I feel like, lacks in that department significantly. The video is a lot of fun. I really, really dug the video. Just didn't seem like the Atreyu I know and love. So I would say a very slight not recommend for this one. All right, so like I said, that's that as far as new music. Now let's get into tours and festivals. We have Greg Puciato starting things off. Greg Puciato, if you do not know, is the former vocalist for Dillinger Escape Plan. Now that Dillinger Escape Plan is no more, he also does vocals in the band Killer Be Killed, which is real nice. And this is the first time he is going out on a solo tour. He has put out 2 solo records since leaving Dillinger. Actually, I believe it's been 2 solo records in the last 2 years. So there is definitely a breadth of content at his disposal. It's not like he's gonna have to do a bunch of covers to fill his hour. But yeah, very interesting. The bands that he's taking on tour with him, I've never heard of. So maybe if you've heard these names before, or you're just really, really into Puciato's solo stuff, it'll be worth checking out. But the bands are Escuela Grind, Def Club, and Trace Amount. They are not all going to be on all of the dates, though there are a significant amount of dates. It starts May 3rd in Roseville, California, runs through June 7th in Los Angeles, California, and he goes basically across the country and back in this stretch. So it's pretty extensive, pretty awesome. Moving right along. Next up is the Misfits. I called this one. The Misfits have announced 3 dates. They're calling it a little tour. I don't know if it really counts as a tour, just as 3 dates when you're at the level of the Misfits. But if you want to call it that, I guess ain't nobody really arguing with you. So for all 3 dates, they will have the band Fear on the bill, but for all 3 dates, there will be a different band that is following Fear. So on the first date, we have, oh, I just lost my notes. First date, we have Megadeth. Second date, we have Gaslight Anthem. And third date, we have AFI. 3 rather different bands when you consider it, and also Gaslight Anthem being a band on the bill with the Misfits and Fear seems very strange to me. If AFI was only modern AFI, that wouldn't make much sense to me either, but there is definitely a dearth of content for them in their back catalog that they will probably pull from for this show because they do that kind of thing. The dates are as follows. We have July 8th, I'm sorry, June 24th is the first one. I got ahead of myself. June 24th in Tampa Bay, Florida. We have July 8th in Newark, New Jersey, and July 15th in Phoenix, Arizona. So the June 24th date, I keep skipping it. June 24th date is with Megadeth. It was uncertain if Megadeth was technically going to headline because Megadeth, or if the Misfits were going to headline because they're the ones putting it together, though it would make a lot more business sense to me if Megadeth were the headliners. So that one, I don't know, if you're in Tampa Bay, then look into it, I guess. But I couldn't decipher one way or the next. As far as the July 8th show, that's the one in Newark, which Gaslight Anthem are also from Jersey, so kind of makes sense that they would be the ones for Newark, but again, Gaslight Anthem with Fear and the Misfits just seems very out of place. And then the Phoenix date in July, the July 15th, there we go. July 15th Phoenix date is AFI, and honestly, do not be surprised if Davey Havok jumps on stage with the Misfits to do maybe Halloween, because famously AFI have covered that, or any other song. Davey Havok at one point kind of thought he was the son of Glenn Danzig, so yeah, I'm sure he's very well versed in anything that the Misfits are going to play on stage, and will likely jump on stage at least once, maybe for an extended amount of time. You know, 2-3 songs wouldn't be out of the question, I would imagine. But yeah, check out, I couldn't find links for these, so you're gonna have to check out, you're gonna have to do a little search on your own to find them. Though, again, if you're a fan of any of these bands, you're probably pretty diehard because their fan base is pretty diehard. So yeah, go check it out. The big one that we're talking about for touring section today is Mudvayne. That's right, I'm super stoked about this one because I missed them when they came through with Rob Zombie. So this time I get to, hopefully I get to go see them. The interesting part about this is we have a number of very interesting bands, and it's, from what I've been able to tell, there's no like different legs of this tour. Everybody is going to be on all of the dates. So, support on this tour is as follows. We have Coal Chamber, that's right, reuniting for a tour. This will be the first time that they've played together on stage in over 8 years, and I think this is the first time they've toured in even longer than that, because when 8 years ago when they played together, it was a reunion show, not a tour. This is going to be a proper tour, so there's that. I just got done seeing Devil Driver. We're going to talk about that in the That Just Happened episode, but yeah, it was great. Anyway, and then the next band is GWAR. That's right, GWAR is going to be on this bill following Coal Chamber and Mudvayne, and then Nonpoint, meh, and followed by Butcher Babies. So in reverse order, as the night progresses, it's going to be Butcher Babies, Nonpoint, GWAR, Coal Chamber, and Mudvayne, though Nonpoint and Butcher Babies might actually switch because I think these days Butcher Babies sell more records. So yeah, the dates start July 20th in West Palm Beach, Florida, and they go through August 26th in Englewood, Colorado. It is a fair amount of dates on this tour, so you should be able to catch them. Again, no link for this one. Go check out Mudvayne's website, though I would imagine they will have links there as soon as they are available. The links were not available when I was doing research for this, so sad, but that is the state of things. And then our final tour that we're talking about in this section is The Offspring. Support from Simple Plan and Sum 41, so pop punks, kind of heavy hitters these days. The only thing missing is Blink-182, right? So yeah, the dates start August 1st in Auburn, Washington, run through September 3rd in Mansfield, Massachusetts. Again, no link available yet, no tickets actually on sale just yet, so you're gonna have to go check out the websites or just look it up on the Live Nation website, you know, because they kind of run everything these days. And we're actually gonna get to that in just a minute, but yeah, that's the tour section. That's what we got. Let's move into regular ass news. We got the first thing in this section is Hollywood Vampires, the band that Johnny Depp is in with Alice Cooper and, oh hell, who was the guitar player? The other guitar player, I guess. Not Slash. Was it Slash? It might have been Slash. I can't remember. But either way, Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp is in the music section. Hollywood Vampires are putting out a live album. I didn't know they had enough material to, you know, have a decent live album to throw out. It's going to be live in Rio. It will be due out sometime in June. Just a real quick bit to start off this section. Now let's get into the meat and potatoes, and that is The Cure. That's right. We have The Cure sticking it to Live Nation and Ticketmaster. So here is what happened. And I'm going to kind of abbreviate this as what I can and paraphrase everywhere possible as well. So this isn't going to be like a play-by-play. This is just the TLDR, if you will. So basically, The Cure announced a tour. We talked about it previously. And when tickets went on sale, they had a deal worked out with Ticketmaster so that the tickets were going to be a reasonable price. And part of the ticketing deals that every band makes with Ticketmaster means they also get a little bit of a cut of the resale, because Ticketmaster has it as such. Ticketmaster and Live Nation, the two are going to be interchangeable in this because they're the same company. So Ticketmaster, they have a resale platform on the website. So if you say buy tickets and you can't go to the show and you learn this after the fact, then you can then sell those tickets on the Ticketmaster Live Nation website, or a Ticketmaster Live Nation owned website rather. It's not that directly. There's, I think, actually multiple of them, but they all go back to Ticketmaster. They all get a cut of those sales. So that's part of the reason why they are incentivized to really not do much about scalpers. Scalpers, you know, very notoriously will buy tickets at face value and then sell them for much, much more, especially in a situation like this. However, The Cure didn't like the way that worked. Because Ticketmaster controls the secondary market, the secondary sales market, they thought this was not good business practice, and so they worked out a deal that Ticketmaster was only going to allow resale tickets happen through a face value reseller, meaning that the only way to sell your tickets after you have already purchased them should be that you go through this very specific reseller, and that you can only sell them for what you paid for them. So if you spent $100 a ticket, then you can only sell them for $100 a ticket. I believe the taxes and fees and everything factors into that as well, but that finds its way out in the back end anyway. So a couple of issues popped up with this. First, it was very difficult to do that in three very specific states. Chicago's not a state. Illinois, Colorado, and New York, because these three states have laws on the books basically allowing aftermarket sales to be scalped effectively. I couldn't get into the details. I didn't have the time to get super in depth in this part of it. But basically that's the way it boils down, is these three states have rules on their books, or laws rather, on their books that allow scalping and actually almost encourage scalping, from my understanding of it. So that was an issue that I think they're still trying to work around. And then the other thing was, other states, aside from those three states, there were reselling issues that happened there as well. And in response to that, The Cure went straight to Ticketmaster and said, we have to fix this. So certain fans were reporting that it was going to be over $1,000 a ticket Wow. $1,000 a ticket to see The Cure because they could only get resale tickets because they sold out, which sucks because I wanted to go as well. But yeah, so there was anyone who spent that much money, anyone who spent more than face value on the resale market, Ticketmaster was then forced, which is awesome, I love you, Robert Smith. Ticketmaster was forced to refund the difference. So yes, please, and thank you. More giant acts need to get on board with this and stop paying lip service to it and stop expecting the government to do something. It is within, The Cure has very well illustrated that it is within the power of the artist to tell Ticketmaster how to do proper business with music fans. This is awesome. Again, more and more bands need to do this. That, though, is what we have for regular ass news. I'm super stoked to be keeping tabs on this Ticketmaster situation as it continues. The only thing left to talk about is suggestions for the week. Suggestion for music this week is Atreyu's The Curse. This is the record, not the record that made me fall in love with the band necessarily, but by and large my favorite record and the record that blew them up in the music community. This record is the reason why the new material seems subpar to me, because this is the bar by which you grade Atreyu material. This record is far and above one of the best metalcore albums that has ever come out, so you should go check it out this week. That is your suggestion. Once again, nerds, that was a short section that comes from a longer video on the main channel, Generally Nerdy, YouTube or Rumble. Take your pick. I'm on both. You can go find it there. You can go find all of the other news there as well, including the live episode. We do a live episode roughly once a week, every Friday evening. You can join the conversation live, or you can just leave comments here on this one or any of the other ones you find on the Clips channel. Thank you very much, nerds. We've got other news to discuss in other videos, but while we're getting out of here, don't forget that if it's generally nerdy, it's probably here.